Barbara Pierce Bush, born June 8, 1925, died on April 17, 2018, was First Lady of the United States from 1989 to 1993, as the wife of President George H.W. Bush, and the founder of the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy. She previously was Second Lady of the United States from 1981 to 1989 when her husband was Vice President. Among her 6 children are George W. Bush, the 43rd President of the United States, and Jeb Bush, the 43rd Governor of Florida. She and Abigail Adams are the only 2 women to be the wife of one U.S. President and the mother of another. Barbara Pierce was born in Manhattan, New York City. She met George Herbert Walker Bush at the age of 16, and the two married in Rye, New York in 1945, while he was on leave during his deployment as a naval officer in World War II. They moved to Texas in 1948, where George later began his political career. Periodic Siena College Research Institute surveys of historians have consistently ranked Bush in the upper half of American First Ladies. First Lady of the United States, 1989 to 1993. Family literacy was Barbara Bush's cause as First Lady, and she called it the most important issue we have. She became involved with many literacy organizations, served on literacy committees and chaired many reading organizations. Eventually, she helped develop the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy. She continued to be dedicated to eliminating the generational cycle of illiteracy in America by supporting programs where parents and their young children are able to learn together. During the early 1980s, after statistics had shown that foreign-born immigrants from Latin America had nearly quintupled just since 1960, statistics showed that 35 million adults could not read above the 8th grade level and that 23 million were not able to read beyond a 4th grade level. Mrs. Bush appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show to discuss the situation and spoke regularly on Mrs. Bush's Story Time, a national radio program that stressed the importance of reading aloud to children. Her children Jeb Bush and Dorothy Bush Koch serve as co-chairs of the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy. During her lifetime, Mrs. Bush remained active in the foundation and served as honorary chair. 18 Mrs. Bush also spoke about her support for abortion access, LGBT rights, civil rights, and AIDS awareness. Upon her death, then President Donald Trump made a statement declaring, amongst Mrs. Bush's greatest achievements was recognizing the importance of literacy as a fundamental family value that requires nurturing and protection. She was active in the White House Historical Association and worked to revitalize the White House Preservation Fund, which she renamed the White House Endowment Trust. The trust raises funds for the ongoing refurbishment and restoration of the White House. She met her goal of raising $25 million towards the endowment. The White House resident staff generally found Barbara Bush to be the friendliest and most easygoing of the first ladies with whom they had dealt. Barbara Bush became the first U.S. First Lady to become a recipient of the Henry G. Freeman Jr. Penn Money Fund, receiving $36,000, most of which she gave to favorite charities. Bush was diagnosed with Graves' disease in 1988. Later on, she developed congestive heart failure and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Bush was a heavy smoker for 25 years, quitting in 1968 when a nurse condemned her smoking in her hospital room after surgery. In November 2008, Bush was hospitalized for abdominal pains and underwent small intestine surgery. She underwent aortic valve replacement surgery in March 2009. Bush was hospitalized with pneumonia on New Year's Eve 2013 and was released from the hospital a few days later. On April 15, 2018, her family released a statement regarding her failing health, stating that she had chosen to be at home with family, desiring comfort care rather than further medical treatment. According to family spokesman Jim McGrath, her decision came as a result of a series of recent hospitalizations. Bush died in her Houston home at the age of 92 on April 17, 2018. Her son George W. Bush tweeted, "My dear mother has passed on at age 92. Laura, Barbara, Jenna, and I are sad, but our souls are settled because we know hers was. I'm a lucky man that Barbara Bush was my mother. Our family will miss her dearly, and we thank you all for your prayers and good wishes." President Donald Trump ordered flags to half-staff in Barbara Bush's memory, as he and First Lady Melania Trump sent condolences on the nation's behalf, saying, "As a wife, mother, grandmother, military spouse, and former First Lady, Mrs. Bush was an advocate of the American family. She will be long remembered for her strong devotion to country and family." Former Presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Senator John McCain also sent condolences. Some foreign leaders including Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and Russian President Vladimir Putin sent their condolences as well. Her funeral was held at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Houston on April 21, 2018, with burial at the George Bush Presidential Library in College Station, Texas. Former Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton and George H.W. Bush, and fellow First Ladies Melania Trump, Michelle Obama, Laura Bush and Hillary Clinton were notable representatives who attended the service. Barbara Bush's son and FMR, Governor Jeb Bush and presidential historian and biographer John Meacham gave eulogies. Former British Prime Minister John Major and former Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney were also in attendance. Her husband was hospitalized the day after with an infection that led to sepsis. Following her death, a cartoon by Marshall Ramsey, of the Clarion Ledger, was widely circulated, showing Barbara being greeted by her daughter Robin, who died of leukemia at age 3 in the 1950s, upon her entry to heaven. The cartoon was shared by various people and relatives of the family, including George W.'s daughter, Jenna Bush Hager. She would be featured again in another Ramsey cartoon later on in December of that same year, following her husband George's death 7 months later, where both she and Robin greeted George after he landed a TBM Avenger, the type of airplane he flew in the Navy during World War II, in heaven. Her husband survived her by 7 months, dying on November 30, 2018. Thanks for watching HerStory channel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe our channel.